Hello, what is up guys? Welcome back to another Anime Vanguards video. Today I'm going to be giving you a guide to how the new Umamusume unit works. So make sure to subscribe and like the video as we get right into that. So upon placing the unit down, you're going to see 4 options. Each one specializes in a different stat and will change the model of the unit. Agnes Tachyon will boost the critical stat, Haru Urara will boost the cost stat, AU Boat will increase damage, and the Concert one will increase speed. So personally, I recommend any of the other 3 besides Haru Urara, since cost isn't really an issue with this unit, considering how she only costs about 132,000 to max out upgrade-wise. After you choose the character for the unit, you're gonna see that she has no cooldown, no range, and 1 active ability. Now this active ability takes you to a training menu, which is how you're going to increase the stats of this unit. So the first thing we got to talk about is the mood in the top left corner. Your mood determines how much stats are gained per action point used and how likely you are to not fail training a stat. For this reason, I'd recommend using action points to get the unit to Great Mood, which will make every action point result in 5 stats per action point used on a stat, and will make the specialized stat for the character you chose increase by 8 points per action point. It's a good thing to point out that the more you train a stat per wave, the more likely it is to fail and not increase your stats. Also note that failing training will result in your mood going down, so make sure to get it back up to great if needed. Also, another thing to point out is that you only get 4 action points per wave and they do not stack, so I would make sure to use them each wave before the next one. Also, do not turn on auto upgrade, as doing so will only upgrade the unit's specialized stat, which as stated earlier, means it's more likely to fail 1 or 2 upgrades per wave. This will basically result in action points going to waste and your mood going down unnecessarily. I will say this unit is not necessarily a progressive unit and more of a infinite mode unit, as you cannot max out all stats in even 30 waves. However, if you do max out all the stats, likely using infinite mode, you will receive 100% more damage and will run 2 times as fast. The length of the map also matters, since once at max speed, this unit can run across the entirety of Namek in about 11 seconds, 5.5-ish if the World Champion passive is active, but we're not going to count that due to it mostly being an infinite mode only passive with how you kind of have to obtain it. So for reference, this is what a Monarch trait Umamusume should look like with the 3 main important stats maxed out, which is achievable in 30 wave game modes with a little bit of luck. So really, this unit does about 3.9 million damage after we include the critical damage. But what makes this unit so overpowered is that it does not die like other summons and will run across the whole track regardless of if the enemy it runs into has more health than it has damage. Meaning, this unit does 3.9 million damage to everything on the track in like 10 or so seconds. But yeah, increase the mood, increase the stats, and that's pretty much how you use this broken unit. That's about it. See ya.
My name is Fire.